Onwards! We're nearly there. Looks like this is it.
Each of these Tuatha was a warrior of peerless loyalty. Their stories should not have ended this way. I've just seen the death of an entire house of my brethren. My land is dying, and the great cycle is broken. My people are no longer being reborn. I'm sorry, but neither I nor the rest of my kind can follow you into Baal. We couldn't bear to see what has become of it. Agarth and I will clean up here. Good hunting and
That was amazing! You're twice the hero I ever was, or could have been. Our forces can't keep going from here. We're stretched too thin, and we've lost too much. Sidon and I will hold the gate for you as long as we can. But Baal is nearly deserted. Head in, face Gadflow, end this. Not at all. You just get moving and put an end to Gadflow while you can. Do that, and I predict our future involves sharing drinks and war stories around a cozy fire. Trust me, I'm a Fate Weaver. Gadflow is weakened. His armies are broken. This is your chance. Child, you're 10 times the hero I've ever been, and I can't wait to see what you become. But this old body just can't take any more right now. Get going. I'll be all right.
My deepest apologies for not being able to join the battle. Ventrinia was something of a hassle. Waiting for you, of course, and cleaning up. Ventrinio attacked me. If it's any comfort, he didn't suffer. The closer we got to Baal, the more obsessed he became with Tianok, and with harnessing Tianok's power, just like Gadflow did. That's why he had to be stopped, and why we need to talk about our mission. I wasn't sure I could trust you. You're not the same person you used to be. We're running out of time. I'll explain as we go. Lead on. I'm right behind you.
The winter court was still as fallen snow as the jester danced and capered. Juggling knives and torches, he sang to his lords and ladies.
Fighting at your side, just like the old days, before you died.
As the sniveling jester imitated crown from his head. Because this was the day when Gadflow ordered the winter court. This was the
This is no time to dawdle. Lead on. I'm right behind you. This is no time to dawdle. You're the one who stepped forward to stop Gadflow and the source of his power, even though fate said you were doomed to fail. This time, fate cannot control you, but I expect you to succeed. Lead on. I'm right behind you. When Gadflow's army arose, we recognized Tianok's tainted influence. Only a force like that could hold the creatures like the Fae. So you came to infiltrate Alabastra, find Tianok, and see him. If you couldn't stop Tianok, she would use her pawns to fully escape her. This is no time to dawdle. Lead on. I'm right behind you.
Since the Alabaster Wall was young, the beautiful bone-white forest was a place of peace and meditation. No piercing birdsong nor heated words. Quietly prevailed until the was shattered. The two authors chopped the forest. And Tiernok's prisoner spires rose up to consume what remained. Now our forest is shattered.
When I found you in
Dalentar,
when I saw you had come back to life, I wasn't sure how much you remembered. I couldn't be certain you would keep our secrets. I considered calling you then and there. Nothing personal. You would. Have done the same to me. But then I saw what you had become. I saw the new powers you wielded. And I saw no more delays. Only choice. So I hope you continue your mission to stop him. Even no more delays. No more delays. I'm right behind you.
And he named it Prislier. It grows far beneath the Amathen. It pierces the world, and the blood that flows from these wounds feeds Gadflow's hungry mind. These crystals, this Prislier, this promises of power, of godhood. It corrupted his nature. The seeds of a blizzard.
Last time you came here, you were destined to die. This time, your destiny is to No more delays. This must have been a lot for you to take in at once. But I need you to be clear on who you are and what you need to do. A lot has changed since you were here last. It isn't going to be as easy this time. And last time it killed you. We were supposed to keep Tiernok hidden from the world. Anyone who learned too much had to die. But when Gadflow found her, you were the one who volunteered to kill him and seal Tiernok away once more, even though you were fated to fail. It took every trick we had to get you here the first time, and you still died. I don't know if you plan to be resurrected, but knowing you, I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, she's a creature with incredible power. A dragon. But she is no simple lizard in some child's tale. She has a power rivaled only by the gods. Thousands of years ago, the ancient Alpha sealed her in the Amathen between this world and the world of magic. And there she went mad. As her prison weakened over time, she was able to tempt Gadflow into helping her gain enough power to break free. And if she escapes fully, it will mean the end of all mortal life. Tiernok's revenge for tens of thousands of years of imprisonment. That's why people like you and I have dedicated our lives to keeping Tiernok secret from the world. Everyone who knows the truth of Tiernok will be dead, and Tiernok will be sealed away once again. We can return to our duty of keeping the knowledge secret, assuming that's the life you want to return to. But if you refuse, then I'd have to make sure you never tell the truth about Tiernok. Of course, I'd rather it didn't come to that. But you would have done the same. Ha! I have more important things to do than love. And so do you. But I do trust you with the fate of my world. It may not set your heart aflutter to hear it, but it'll have to do. Lead on. I'm right behind you.
You don't understand, do you? The power of Tiernok is rewritten. Yes! Return to your grave! Lend me your power!
If Gadflow isn't here, then he must be hiding further underground, someplace closer to the source of the Prismere. You needn't try to impress me, you know. Not anymore. Besides, we don't have time. Whatever bargain Gadflow made with Tiernok, it's about to pay off. And when that happens, the world will suffer her wrath. She's imprisoned deep in the Amathen, but Gadflow's war has weakened her bonds. There's no time to spare. If she gets free, our world is lost. This way. Tiernok is held captive deep in the Amathen, but her prison is weakening by the moment. I can feel Tiernok's eyes upon us.
You've used your power well. So much Let's have a taste, shall we? Let's have a
She just tore out a part of the fates you've stolen and turned it against you. Perhaps it is not inaccurate to think of her as a god.
Isn't here since before your prison. My freedom cross here. My freedom cross here.
We cannot let Gadflow free Tiernok.
Gadflow's prayers. Free.
Don't listen. You're the only one who has the power to stop her.
When you first came to the death world, and you were so keen to play your role.
You chose this? What does she mean by that?
I gave you freedom, and now you have freedom, and now mine.
Only you have the power to reseal Tiernok inside the Amathen. I must keep the secret of her existence from the world. Once Tiernok is pushed back into her prison, these caverns must be sealed. But that leaves one question. Can I trust you to keep Tiernok's secret? There are things in this world that must remain hidden. If the power of the dragons were widely known, well, you've seen what has happened here. Gadflow tapped a fraction of her power. He upset the great cycle of the Fae and waged a genocidal war on the young races. Just coming in contact with her power managed to free you from fate's bonds. And if you can turn that freedom against her, she will have no power over Amalur. Nothing like you has ever existed before. As always, there's no way of knowing your future. If you're victorious, it may be the last time you change the fate of the world. Even if you fall back into fate's weave once her influence is gone from this world, it will be a far better fate than what Tiernok's emergence would bring. is excellent. After all that you've done, it would have been a shame for you to die a second time. If you do escape, I will be watching you. And know this, anyone who learns the truth of what happens here, I will silence myself. Go. Stop Tianak from fully entering this world. But remember, my blades will always be at your back. Nothing in the world is fated to stop Tianak. That's why you're the only one who has a chance. I'm just here to make sure you take it. We were two of the people who were supposed to keep Tianak hidden from the world. Anyone who learned too much had to die. But when Gadflow found her, you were the one who volunteered to kill him and seal Tianak away once more, even though you were fated to fail. It took every trick we had to get you here the first time, and you still died. I don't know if you plan to be resurrected, but knowing you, I wouldn't be surprised. This way. There's no turning back now.
Bring me your power. Sacrifice yourself and seal the fate of your world.
It's time to choose your fate. Amathin lies beyond. This is where the dragon will breach the veil.
Come forward, mortals. Behold the birth of Tianak. Attend your final hour.
My fate does not lie beyond those doors. You alone may change what is to come. Go!
Welcome back, mortal. How does it feel, I wonder, to return to this place? Does the pain of your death still linger? Can you feel it echo through the air? And now, in this place, you shall witness the birth of Tianak, the destruction of the Alpha, and the dawn of the endless winter. She comes. Tianak the powerful, Tianak the merciful. Qualla fella Tianak. Qualla sera Tianak. Tianak? Have I done well, lady? Are you pleased? Did I...
You have served your purpose.
But I have so much more to give.
And now, Fateless One, you shall serve yours.
How could we have known that this would be a new beginning? I wonder now if we should have foreseen this outcome, but who knew then what fate would bring? I would have liked to have delivered this message in person, to see you one final time. That, however, would have been complicated. The order to which I belong had other plans. Were you ever to leave the crystalline fortress? When it comes to you, though, it seems no fate is written in stone. It was only through my assurances that your silence could be counted upon, that either one of us still draws breath. I trust you will not make of me a liar. Were stories of what we have seen to begin to surface in the inns and taverns of Amalur, I would be asked to seek you out. And as we both know, the next time you die, there will be no return. But let us not speak of this. Your life is your own. Go now, and see what fate may bring you, or what fate you may bring. Perhaps one day in happier times, you and I will meet again. Until that day, I remain yours, Aelin Sher.
Well, well, awake at last. You gave us quite a scare. But you're here and the war's all but over. So who are we to complain? I was hoping you could tell us. Sidon and I were fighting a few remaining stragglers when all of a sudden they started this unholy wailing. I guess you must have killed Gadflow, because the Tuatha started screaming and ran away. There are still a few diehards, but they don't have the fire in them, you know? Wasn't much longer before Aelin showed up carrying you over her shoulder. Told me to watch over you, make sure you were okay. She left some kind of note for you, but I know better than to read a private message from the likes of her. Yes, you did. You had an army at your back, but in the end, it was you who defeated Gadflow. But there's something you ought to know. A lot of the soldiers asked me for readings after the fighting ended. And, try as I might, I can't see a fate for any of us. Tirnoch, you don't expect me to think that Gadflow's god was real, do you? No. No, impossible. Whatever happened down there, though, it changed everything. At least for now. I've been a lot of things in my life. A hero and a heartbreaker. A fate weaver and a failure. All at the cruel hands of fate. Until you came along, I never had a choice in what I was. Thank you for that. You should have seen Alabastra at its prime. Serene and beautiful as a sky full of stars. First she works with us, then she betrays us, then she saves your life. I admit I don't know what to make of that woman, but I feel like we owe her. Not that I'd know how to find her, or pay her back for that matter. Last I saw him, Sidon was mourning at the House of Sorrows. I can't imagine what his people are going through. If you see him, give him my regards. The Winter Fae were a decent people. They didn't deserve what Gadflow did to them. Everyone thinks the immortal Fae are enigmas, but they've got it all wrong. The Fae are simple, far simpler than mortals. They never change. Even when their bodies die, they reform again, often years later. Well, ever since you came back from Alabastra, I cannot read a place in the Weave for anyone. Whatever you did, it didn't just win the war. It's given us all a chance to make our own destinies. Whatever you did to him, Gadflow is truly dead and gone. Sidon says he won't be reborn, although I don't know how he can be so sure. Doesn't look like there was much of the House of Pride left to save, and I can't imagine they were happy about a mortal doing the saving either. The Fae in the House of Vengeance are, bar none, the fiercest, strongest, most downright unstoppable creatures in the land. Not that they have a lot to be vengeful about. After all, Gadflow was the one who started the damned war. Hughes was always an odd one. Curious and determined as any of his kind, sure. He never shut up about his work. But he always knew what was important. He didn't worry about dying as long as he knew he'd get the well working. Ah, the warm and welcoming Fae of the Summer Court. They were the ones who welcomed man, Alfar, and Gnome into the Faelands. You'd hardly realize the Tuatha are the same sort of creature. You've all but ended the war, and you've surely changed its destiny. Every mortal in the Faelands owes you thanks. Sure, there are still Tuatha left here and there, but they've got no leader, and they don't pose half the threat they used to. So the gnarled madman didn't make it out of Alabastra? I can't say I'm choked up over the loss. You know the Summer Court and Issa? Well, the Winter Court are their darker siblings. They're not evil, but they're definitely not nice.
Good morning, ma'am. Good to see you up and out of your quarters. This here is the lower hall of the Orbicant. The Council has granted this rare honor in light of all you've done for us, for all of Alfar kind. They have also allowed me to offer you access to the Reserve Armory, if you would care to have a look. Ah yes, it was she who brought you here, you know. Stood by your bed for almost a day, then left suddenly on urgent business. But that has always been her way. I do hope your stay has been restorative.